Hello, good evening, friends and students. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Colonel Dr. Bhaskar Gupta, retired. I am now starting to give you an update on the top 5 news of the day. So, the top 5 news I'm including is India Maldives, what is happening to the withdrawal of military personnel. In Canada, we are talking about the Niger killing and what Canadian government has said after that. Of course, there will be an update on the Israel-Gaza war, the protest in US universities by the Palestinians, and what's happening in UK, Great Britain, where Rishi Sunak has just survived a scare. So to start with, the first news, India-Maldives update. As you are aware, President Muizu had given a date of 10th May for Indian forces to withdraw totally from the island nation. India is more or less on track to do that. Today is about 4th May, and by 10th May we are planning to withdraw all the military personnel, about 80 of them, and replace them with civilian personnel. The high-level core group bilateral meeting has met 4 times, and they are sure about doing this to satisfy Male's demands. And we are saying that it is now up to Male to run the Dorniers that used to run there. And the next core group meeting will be now in July in Male to further the bilateral discussions. That is about India Maldives. Next is Canada. In a further to the Niger killing, which started, if you are aware, President Trudeau had accused India in September 2024 of orchestrating this killing, and that statement he gave in the Canadian Parliament sparked protests and reactions all over the world. Now what Canada has done, as per Hindustan Times, they have made 3 arrests over the Niger killings, as per a news report, and all these 3 have been linked to India. So in a way, Canada is trying to justify its report on foreign intervention, and it mentions India as one of the perpetrators. Though Indian Foreign Ministry has clearly denied it, we say that is not proof. Canada is trying to get into an unnecessary controversy which will damage relations, and as you're aware, relations were quite damaged. They were frozen for almost 6 months. The visas were held back. There was no trade exchange, etc., etc. But Canada is up to it. So in short, Canada has now given proof and made 3 arrests. What follows after these arrests, time will tell. As regards the Israel-Gaza war, I would say the West's moral claim over a rule-based order being established in the world lies in tatters. The West has been blindly supporting Israel's action in Gaza, and there is a double-speak on human rights and international law. Though they talk of democracy and human rights, but they are blatantly disregarding what Israel is doing and allowing Israel to perpetrate what I would call a genocide with 2.5 million Palestinians homeless, not knowing where the food will come from, stopping the aid, etc., etc. So, I would say that is why the world is seeing the protests. And now I would urge India to come out and do something, intervene in this regard, or maybe the UN or the US intervenes, because Israel has to stop. Also, in the garb of this military aid, the US, the UK, the Germany, France, Canada, and Australia, and other arms suppliers which are giving arms to Israel are ensuring that they are not accountable for giving a laissez-faire to Israel in Gaza. This laissez-faire basically means they have left them alone, they are not interfering, but what Israel is doing is wrong and nobody should support that. Next news is about the US protests in the universities. As you are aware, a lot of universities, starting with Columbia University, saw protests by students, geared up by the Palestinian students against the Gaza war. The campus protests have now spread to Sydney in Australia, Toronto in Canada, and Paris in France. But all said and done, US is not able to handle these protests, and in a slight, I would say, warning or a rejoinder, the Indian Foreign Ministry also told US, and this has happened for the first time, that please set your house in order before preaching morality and democracy to other nations. Though India has not criticized USA, but it's a strong statement coming from India for the first time telling its ally US to set its house in order. Let's see what US done, because the crackdown that they're doing is somehow not palatable to the eyes. The last news is about Rishi Sunak. The news says Rishi Sunak lives to fight another day as stories about wipe out. So basically, Sunak has acknowledged a disappointing result in the local elections, and now that we know that there is a election due at the end of the year, and it is not likely that the Conservative Party led by Rishi Sunak will get their due. So there is chance of the Labour coming back to power. So Sunak's, I would say, position is shaky. He is trying to drum up support. and the Labour Party has got emboldened by their victory in the local elections. So UK is also going to have I would say, turmoil and a very fiery election in the end of the year. So this year we already have an Indian election, you are aware. June 4 we'll know the results. November we have the US elections, and then end of the year we have the UK elections. So look forward to my more updates coming to you. Thank you. Keep watching my channel. Good day. All the best. Bye bye. Cheerio. Jai Hind.